I need to be very careful how I word the next couple of things, because anything you say and do can and will be held against you in a court of law. That looks like a plug-in vibrator behind me, doesn't it? That's so weird. It's a portable charger. Let me try to break down for you what happened today as quickly as possible. This started earlier today, maybe 2 hours ago. It's not about 3 hours now, so about 6 o'clock. I get a call on the radio saying that there's a guy being belligerent on the train. Can you take care of it? It's absolutely. So, excuse me. So I board the train and say, hey man, no ticket, no pass. You gotta go. And he was as courteous as you could be about it. He exits the train. I call it in. He exits the train. It says copy. We move along. So he's got a milk crate full of belongings. It's obvious he's a homeless guy. He's got a crate full of belongings. And he goes to light a cigarette. And I say, hey man, there's no smoking at the station. Now, quick pig sidebar so you know how this works for me is anything beyond the red lines at my station is public property. Don't have nothing to do with that. So when people want to smoke, I have to tell them step behind the red line. Doesn't make much of a difference. I mean, if you're gonna smoke, the smoke's gonna travel across the red line anyway. But I don't make the rules; I enforce them. So I say, hey, if you want to smoke, go behind the red line. So this guy decided that he wanted to use my trick against me, and he goes to light a cigarette. I'm like, hey man, you can't smoke here. So he kind of motions to the red line. He was like, I'm on public property. You can't stop me. I was like, yeah, well, that's true. I guess so. But his milk crate full of his belongings was still at my station. So I say, so you've left the station? He says, yeah. It's like, so you've abandoned your belongings? He says, yes. I say, oh, all right. So I take the whole crate and I throw it away. I just dump all the belongings into a trash can. I'm done with it. I'm real salty about it too. Like I'm bitter that the guard before me didn't take care of it because they called it in. It was like, yeah, there's a guy on the train at my station, but I didn't take care of it. Here's the full description. But whatever. I'm happy to do my job. So the guy leaves. He's gone. I'm in the break room and I'm discussing it with my coworkers, and I like to think that it's done. We fast forward 2 hours. I come out of the break room. Dude's sitting out there and he's gone through the trash and he's got all his stuff. So I didn't recognize him at first, but then I kind of peeped out the blue book bag that I had thrown away. And I said, hey dude, you don't have a ticket or a pass, you can't be here. He was like, well, I didn't buy it yet. I was like, well, you need to buy it now or I'm going to have to ask you to go. He was like, well, you can't make me leave. I was like, yeah, the fuck I can. So I'm very deliberate. I was like, do you want to just leave? You can take your stuff and go. Or do you want to go to jail tonight? And he was like, I ain't going to jail. I got a gun. And that's where he fucked up. So to be very clear, and if you know me, you know this is my thing. So let me make sure that I understand you correctly. Are you saying you have a gun? And he said, yeah, don't make me use it. That was all I needed. I stepped back. I then followed company procedure. When threatened like that, I was 100 feet back. Got on the radio. It's like, hey, I'm going to need cops out here. Got an individual. He's smoking at the station. He's throwing all this stuff around. He's being belligerent. And he says he has a gun. Police stopped the trains. Trains coming on either side stopped all traffic. Done. Police cars swarm up. And it was like a scene from a movie. Cop cars pulled up. It took a little longer than I would have liked, but cop cars pulled up, and you see all these little red dots on there. They're like, get on the ground, and they're checking him for a weapon. And a cop walks up to me and he says, did you see the weapon? I said, no, I didn't see the weapon. He said, but he said he had one. I said, yes, sir. He said he had one and told me not to make him use it. I was very clear and very deliberate and very specific in the things that I said, because these are the kind of things that could and eventually will come up in court. I have to be able to answer these kind of questions. So the guy says, did you feel threatened? Yes. Yes, I did feel threatened. I get a lot of threats at work. Hey, I'm gonna beat your ass. Hey man, when I catch you after work, it's gonna be on. This is the first time I had a guy say, I've got a gun. So even though I didn't 100% believe him, you have to treat it as such because you don't really know. It could be anything. So the police pull up and they say, they're talking to me. It's like, so do you want to press charges? Yes. Yes, I want to press charges. So we go through the motions to get the paperwork. Here's my copy of the paperwork, by the way. So we do the paperwork, and technically it's a misdemeanor because he just threatened. He didn't necessarily threaten me. He implied a threat. So it's a misdemeanor. But upon further inspection, the dude's got an open container. Dude's got some meth on him. The dude's on meth, and he has a history of being belligerent with cops. So they figure it out in such a way where they can get him on felony charges. So they arrest him. They pull him out of here. I give him my ID so I can do the citizen's arrest because technically it's a citizen's arrest. And cops like, all right, man, we'll take care of it. It was, I've had to deal with cops before. I know this was a long time ago, but 2014, I had a guy pee on me at work. I was working downtown, and he just got to whip his dick out, and he pissed on my leg, so I had to do a citizen's arrest. But when the cops came out, it kind of felt like they were pandering to me. They were just like, oh, they were real condescending. Oh, poor little guy, you had an encounter. Let's, okay, here's your paperwork, little fella. It kind of felt like that. This was altogether different. This was, hey man, we sorry this happened to you. We'll take care of this guy. Anything else you need? And they're patting me on the back and they're shaking my hand and they're apologizing for this guy doing what he did. I'm like, thank you, officers. Thank you for coming out. Just, hey, brother, anytime. It's real cool. This job provides me that atmosphere, and I fucking love it. Oh my god, I love it. So this guy's in jail. He's got a history of being belligerent with cops. Apparently, this is the first time he's wandered this far out from downtown. And they were like, don't worry, you won't see this guy again. They warned me that I might have to go to court. But if they got this guy on, like, possession of meth and open container and suddenly little stuff like trespassing and fare evasion won't make much of a difference to his personal record. So they're going to get him on possession and all these other things, and he'll probably be gone for a while. Or he'll get out on some psych eval, but he won't bring his ass here no more. I needed to get this out, and I needed to vent, and I needed to share this because it was a defining moment for me for a few reasons. One, it shows the level of respect that law enforcement has for the position that I hold in the job that I perform. I appreciate that. Also, it sets a tone for how things get done at my station. Again, we were talking the other day about not letting the job define me. I define the job. You don't come to my station and start shit, because that's what happens to you. It was also very important to me that I be 100% truthful with the cops. So, all in all, it worked out.